Hey YouTube, something different, not another Temu pedal, because I do have about 10 of those videos ready to rock. So I'm playing a bass, and can you see what's different about it? Wee bit of contact cleaner in there. It's a weird one, but for sure, do you want to play my left-handed guitar or bass in this jam? Definitely choosing the bass, because at least you can play quite a lot of stuff on one string. This is a jpax that's sold. I said I would demo it, and it's like, well, I can demo it to a certain degree. It's more actually the concept. My next door neighbour plays bass. I gave him one the other day, last week. And I just turned up. It was a wee cheapy one. He's like, oh, I just have a P bass, and he just strung it upside down. And I was thinking, can you play it? And it's like, it totally feels fine. The neck seems a wee bit closer. It feels more like a short scale. I think the whole thing shifted, probably just to do with where this is. And the knobs are in a strange position. Also, it doesn't have dots on the underside. This is actually going to a left-handed person, so I assume there are dots on that side. I can see them. Yeah, so yeah, I need the dots on the edge, not on the ones on the fingerboard, the ones on the edge. They are on the bottom, but they're not on the top. So, Legend of the Phoenix. A little bit like my 8-string bass. When you get to here, the strap's in the way, so maybe not absolutely ideal, but I mean, you can get to the 12th, so technically, you really need to have anything above the 12th. The only time I'm ever above the 12th ever is when I'm going. Anyway, you know, I've never really play up here. When you can put them back. No, I was just, looking at it thinking, it doesn't come, you don't see very many left-handed P basses, or, they're in the minority, and I think they go for a bit of a premium because you can't really get them. But if you were a lefty and you're talking about converting these things, doesn't really take much. Maybe if you moved the strap button to like on the heel and then just made it a bit neck heavy, because I mean, it's not neck heavy at all. If anything, it's neck light, the way it is just now. Or maybe just put the thing there. High fret access. I mean, you can still, if it came to it, you can still get up there if you didn't have the strap there. And okay, the knobs are totally in the way, let's be honest. But it's one of those things that, well, I'll just put my hand there. They're not in such a position. It's like, but I always put my hand like this. Well, don't put your hand like that. Modify your playing stance. There's not, the way you're playing might not be the best way of playing in the world. You've got to try other things. So maybe just moving your hand to there makes it a bit different from playing there. Mind you can still play there. You just use that, which is a very popular look. One of the problems with bass playing is having your hand like that. You look a bit of a weirdo. And there's something not as cool, something about, strumming a guitar and doing it is quite cool, whereas that kind of fingery thing doesn't look great. So what I can do is I can play very fast, intricate patterns, but all the notes are in the wrong place, so probably slightly disharmonic, but I can probably, just like King Crimson or something. Just playing one string though. Or you should think about it ahead. It's so alien feeling. The thing is, you can play notes with such confidence, and they're completely wrong. You know, like, which you can't really do when you're beginning and you're playing wrong notes, because you know you don't have that. I'm playing this note, woomph, which is the hard thing about playing the bass. It's like Mr. Whitesnake was actually talking about actually having respect for bass players. It's like, wow, no one ever does. But it's you know, oh, gee, you're just playing A in that song. But I'm playing it like that. I'm not playing it. You know, there's different ways of doing it. It's only 3 notes, but it's all to do with when you play them. So I mean, I don't know, would I do it? If I picked up a bass that I absolutely loved that was left-handed, would I just play it upside down? I don't know. Anyway, this is a jpax, so I can't remember exactly what bass it was. I'm sure she told me what kind it was. Nice bit of flame maple on the back of the neck as well. Oh. So it's kind of like some sort of fabric, like if you zoomed in on like a hippie blanket, I think you would, like the threads all stuck together. I think it's also got multicolour strings, which were from Temu, but actually they seem to work fine. They're all the same volume and they all work, so it's like maybe they are 10% not as, you know, quieter than good strings or whatever, but if they're all the same, you turn the volume up half a notch and everyone's the same. It's also got a fancy bridge on it, so this is probably puts it in the late 80s. Something like that. Before it just became, I think before they started mass producing at billions and billions of like something like a P-bass bridge, where we're probably looking at this era getting a P-bass bridge built, and they're thinking, okay, it's going to cost us $2 to build a bridge. Well, we're having to build it, but do you want to make a bit of a fancier one for like $2.50? Like that. Aye, cool. Whereas now you just go, how much for a bridge? Either 1 cent for standard P-bass, you can just buy them by the pallet, you know what I mean, without having to do anything. I'll just have them then. Make more profit. It's also got a thumb rest. I suppose you put it there. Probably makes sense there. Actually, my EBO I was playing has a hole for a thumb rest, but it's there on right-handed mode, so it would be here. So it's in this position. So I suppose you put your fingers round it and claw onto it. I wonder if that's to do with something to do with the upright bass players maybe resting their finger on, tugging on the bottom of the bass or something. I don't know. You play with your thumb. I don't know. It's called a thumb rest, but if you're resting your thumb there, it's kind of, maybe it's a challenge, the thumb rest challenge. Put your thumb on the thumb rest. Obviously this bass is upside down, but this is not a left-handed bass, and if you can see, if I can get the lights out of there, there's the two screws. So that's where the thumb rest would be, there, for resting your thumb. Yeah, that sounds like a good challenge one. If I knew more folk that did videos, we could have that, the thumb rest challenge. Mind you, you've got to have a bass with a thumb on it. So put your thumb on there and then somehow contort yourself to actually play the bass. Alright, okay. My thumb is rest. Oh, open string. There we go. So that's definitely having a jam on a one with a left-handed bass. Oh, you know that Daft Punk song? And I'm having to totally guess what frets it is because I can't see. There's no markings on it. I was actually worried when I gave Baz next door that bass. Can you play it upright? So I moved the control plate down here, put a Telecaster plate on it, and you know, when thinking it was always going to fall forward like that, which to be honest it kind of is, but you can support it with your leg, and if you put your wrist on it, it's going nowhere. Yeah, so totally I would make a right-handed one if I could pick one up really cheap. You don't really see P-bass is really cheap, and if you do see them really cheap, there's not very much point in buying strings for it, making the nut, altering everything, moving the controls, if it's not going to be a good one. But if it's a good one, I don't want to cut it up, so it's like kind of, can't really win. But I quite like the idea of an upside down P-bass, but strung. So this shape, but with the strings, with the thick one here. So you can do all the fast things that you can do normally, but it's the other way around. So I would normally be going. That's it there. Which would be what it would normally sound like, but instead it's. Do you think as soon as you hear that, I just hear, oh, that's that in a funny tuning? Because you get that with you hear guitars and funny tunes. You just go, oh, guitar doesn't normally do that when you're going between those two notes. This has just got that. You would never normally have the low note so easy to get at. Also, not used to holding on that string with on the bottom of the fretboard. So there you go, left-handed bass played by a right-handed player can be done. Not actually that difficult, really. If you were having just an arse about jam with your pals, you could kind of get away with it, as long as they weren't going to go, oh, let's get something that's really difficult. Not a left-handed one.